So moving on, what's our next topic?
Okay, so let's get this one ready because there is a silver lining, and it is what we've always preached. However, comes with a small catch.
Okay.
All right, so smaller game developers, smaller games can be more creative. Smaller game designers can be more creative and more innovative. And this is a small team by Ubisoft. Now, this is where we're going to lead in and want to give the advice we've been continuing to give our viewers. If you really want to be a game developer, either go solo, go indie, or go small team.
Yeah.
You know, even if it's a small studio that's a little bigger than indie, you can still pull it off. And we're talking about the creators of Death Sprint 66.
Yeah.
All right. They had a very limited team and a very limited budget and a limited amount of time. So they were forced to get creative and forced to innovate. And you know what they say? Necessity
is the mother of invention.
So, you know, that right there is something to think about. You know, you out there still have the ability to put together the game that you want. But here's where we said there's a small catch. Death Sprint 66 is just, it's a run. It's a flowing run game. It's, you know, you just keep you running, you're outrunning traps, you're outrunning your friends, etc. So I guess not really Fall Guy, but it's still effectively a death race.
Yeah.
And it's a little different. So if you want to be successful, indie, solo, small team, come up with something new.
Yeah.
Something fresh, because that's what people want.
Yeah. They're even saying they want something fresh. They want something new. They want something authentic.
Yeah.
So and how are you going to get that? Well, by being your own boss, your own team. Innovating. So
all of you out there who want to make an epic RPG, add something new. Make it so that there's something different, so people won't think you're trying to make the next Final Fantasy.
Thank you.
You know, if you want to make yourself a shooter, do something a little different. If you want to make a battle royale game, do something a little different, so they won't think you're making, you know, Fortnite clone 302.
Thank you.
You know, you have got to innovate. You've got to do something different,
so you can set yourself apart from others and gain the traction that you want.
Yeah. Gain the following. This game here, I don't even need to read the article like out loud or anything. I remember the big thing that stood out was the people who are playing it. It's an overwhelmingly good reception, overwhelmingly positive reception.
Yeah.
Because the people are like, hey, this is different. You know, and that's the thing, is it doesn't have to be a completely unique idea. Those are very hard to come by. You want to make the next Undertale, but do something different.
Yeah.
You want to make the next FPS battle royale game, do something different. I actually was looking at stuff like that. You know, looking at, hey, what would it take to make a different battle royale? Well, what if a battle royale, instead of the arena shrinking, the arena grows out more and more and more, and the center becomes dangerous? You know, something like that.
Something like that.
You know, so you're running around a large ring. I mean, little things like that. Like, how would you do it? You know, you want to make the next turn-based RPG. Okay, how would you do that differently? Maybe cards determine your skills and what you use. So it's kind of like Hearthstone meets turn-based combat. You know, something like that, which I actually think that's actually Slay the Tower, but here we are. You know, things like that. Come up with something new. And, you know, yeah, Burke says, I don't like people saying make the next X because that limits your scope. Tell your story. Well, we're talking more like if you want to have a game that's, you know, I'm really inspired by this game. Okay, cool. Make your game that was inspired by this game that you really like, but make it your own.
Yeah.
Do you make it fresh, make it different?
Yeah. So I just want to say that, you know, along those veins, having a small to medium studio, and they are a medium-sized studio.
Yeah.
They don't consider themselves indie. They consider themselves in between that, in between small and big.
Yeah.
What they have is they're nimble. Yeah. And I think that is a good thing for any studio to have, whether you're one person, a small team, or medium-sized studio, to be very nimble, because then you can pivot and put out the games you want to put out and not feel so constrained. The bigger your studio, the bigger you are, the harder it is to be able to pivot and turn and be nimble and that sort of thing. It's just, I'm probably talking in a circle at this point, but if you have nimbleness, then you're able to capitalize on your ideas in a more effective way.
Yeah. You know, it's when you don't have those corporate overlords, as we always like to say in a conspiratorial way, looking over your shoulder, you get some freedom. But at the same time, you don't have those big, huge, you know, marketing bucks behind you. So you have to have something that stands you out from the pack. Anyone nowadays can open up Unreal Engine for Fortnite. That's not even Unreal Engine. That's like Unreal Engine Lite. Anyone can open up, you know, RPG Maker. Sorry, not to pick on your RPG Maker, but you're an easy engine to use. Anyone can open up Unity and just start making a game. And now what's going to make your game different? Why should people play your game?
It's so competitive out there that I do understand why studios would make a decision to partner with somebody with deeper pockets. I get that. But at the end of the day, are you going to survive that decision?
Right.
And the risk is really high that you won't survive that decision.
Yeah.
You know, your very decision to survive could be basically sentencing you to an early death.
Yeah.
Yes, it's very, very competitive, and it takes a while to build a following. You're only as good as your last game. You've got to keep producing, you know, your games and good games, and keep that enthusiasm, that fire going, and be nimble. And it's a lot to ask for a studio to continually do that. I mean, it's easy to do that within 5 years of launching, but, you know, let's talk 15, 20 years down the road. Do you still have that same fire, that same energy? It is a lot to ask.
It is a lot to ask. Now Burke does, to kind of seg into something more your style. Burke asks a very good question. How effective is marketing right now? Really? Hi-Fi Rush was shadow released on Xbox, only shown on live show at the time. Holy crap, it climbed by word of mouth of being good, interesting game. Now, before I let Teal talk, there is nothing in the world that is more effective than word of mouth.
Yeah.
But with that said, take it away. How effective is marketing nowadays?
Well, marketing, yeah. I got a couple of things to say about it. First of all, marketing has been its own worst enemy. Now you've got escalation going on in the marketing industry, where you've got to keep throwing more money and bigger effects and et cetera, in order to be heard above the noise of the rabble. And it's not sustainable. Now you've got whole marketing campaigns that nobody really thinks much about, because there's so many other campaigns like it. Marketing has reached a big saturation point, and I think all the glitz and the drama and the glamour and the big bucks are not very effective at this point. The most effective thing is word of mouth. So put a damn good product out there. People will start playing it. People will tell other people. More people will start playing it. That right there, hardest thing to do, but tried and true. That is your pathway to success. And all the Super Bowl ads and, multi tens of millions of dollar ad campaigns aren't going to beat that.
Yeah.
Because you can throw out so much marketing and advertising on all these different platforms. You are throwing spaghetti at the wall. That's what it is. Very, very expensive spaghetti being thrown at the wall. The end result of any marketing is to get more people to purchase your product.
Yeah.
And spaghetti throwing is a huge waste of resources, in my opinion, because you've got a lot of effort for a small payout.
Yeah, people only can take so much of you slapping them in the face with a buy my book ad, buy my game, buy my game. There's only so much people can stand of that before they start getting desensitized. So if every 5 seconds you're seeing a ad on YouTube for a mobile game where you're running around shooting things in a column or helping someone rebuild their garden, you're gonna get desensitized. You're not gonna care anymore.
Yep.
Nowadays ads are used for revenue for indie mobile game developers. We're gonna push an ad so you get 5 more moves in our bubble popping game.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know.
that in itself
Well,
is an annoyance.
It's ethical, but at the same time, it's annoying because you're not
Yeah.
getting money from them. You're just
No.
getting time.
Yeah.
We've talked about quote unquote ethical monetization, but Lord God, you know, there's a reason why the only mobile game I play is Sudoku,
Yeah.
because I bought it and it's mine and that's it, done. But
so how effective are these marketing campaigns? I'm going to say that at this point it's diminishing returns. They have passed the point of diminishing returns, and they may as well just pull the fuck back because it's not doing any better.
And don't think you're clever by targeting someone that you've never targeted in your industry before, like the car company, I think it was Subaru, that tried to target nerd culture by having the characters from the D&D cartoon back in the 80s make their way back home because Dungeon Master was driving a fucking car. That's a real thing that happened. So yeah, to kind of cap it all, yeah, right, BG? That was a thing that occurred.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, the D&D cartoon back from the 80s.
Yep.
Okay, so to kind of cap it off and bring it back here, your best bet if you want to make your dream game is to be anywhere from solo to small studio team, you know. Be self-funded, but be innovative. Add whatever you're going to create to your game project. Whatever your dream game is, add something new, innovative, and fresh.
Yeah. Trust me. Yeah, people will notice, and your product will just, as we like to say, fly off the shelves.
Yes. And it doesn't matter at that point whether you're marketing to everybody, marketing to a group. You know, you could market to adults only, giggity. You could market to kids. It doesn't matter what you're marketing to. If it's a good, fresh game and you're using the word of mouth advertising and building up that audience, you're going to succeed.
Yeah. And that's where the work comes in. So, yeah.
All right. Oh God, speaking of work, our next topic is a little laborious and not particularly pleasant, but we'll save that for later. So if you like what you saw, leave a smack down like button below, subscribe to our channel, consider supporting us on Patreon, connect with us over social media, and we'll see you in the next video.
See you next time.